Welcome to Right on Track, a songwriting podcast. Thanks to Tone for tuning in. I'm Demi Michelle Schwartz, and I'm thrilled you're joining me on my songwriting journey. So kick back and relax, don't fall flat, and remember, stay right on track. Hey everyone, welcome back to Right on Track. Joining me on the show today is an artist I'm beyond excited to have a conversation with. Please welcome Devon Beck. Hey Devon.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Just getting ready to play a Broadway show today.
That sounds like so much fun, and I'm so excited to chat with you on the show about lots of things. But before we get into all the specifics, I would love for you to share a little about yourself and your journey as an artist so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm originally from Central Pennsylvania. I grew up there and I grew up playing shows there. And when I turned 18 is when COVID kind of happened. So a lot of my friends who were older than me, I found out were dropping out of universities because of COVID and everything. And I wanted to go to a big university and it just didn't happen because of COVID. So I decided to just move down to Nashville and pursue this whole music thing. And I've gotten into the songwriting community and just been playing writers' rounds and recently playing on Broadway and a lot of the venues down there. Just kind of honing my craft a little bit and trying to, learn each piece from a different person down here and just be more of a well rounded musician.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And I'm happy you were able to pursue your dream. I think COVID messed up a lot of people's plans, but I think
Yeah.
in a way it led you to move down to Nashville, pursue music, and you found success with that. So that's working out well for you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I really didn't know what I was going to pursue. Music's not really in my family at all, so none of us really knew what we were doing or talking about or had any ideas. So when I just decided to drop the whole college thing and go for music, it was definitely out there, but I'm still trying.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm the only musical one in my family too. Nobody knows where the music talent came from because I'm the
I
only
know,
one.
it's so weird.
So, how would you describe your songwriting process?
I would say my songwriting process is different for each. I Back when I first started songwriting, I really just enjoyed writing by myself because I it took me a long time to write songs and figure out really what I wanted to say, but now I think my favorite songwriting process would be writing with friends and um just having other opinions on songwriting because I feel like when you go into a room and you present an idea, somebody else can just completely change it and make it that much better.
Oh yeah, co-writing is a lot of fun and I think it's important as well. And even if you would write a song on your own, you could definitely show that to friends for feedback. I do that all the time. And so even if you're writing alone or with a group, you can definitely get that feedback. And I think it's really important as songwriters to work with others and receive feedback on our work and be receptive to that because it's just going to help you to continue to grow as a songwriter.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's great if you know how to write a song by yourself. It really is, but I think there's just this missing touch of magic whenever you introduce somebody else to it too.
Yeah, no, for sure. I totally agree. So I want to chat about your experience at the Central Pennsylvania Music Awards. So can you share a little about this?
Yeah, so actually I think it started during COVID. They really wanted to highlight Central Pennsylvania songwriters because it was such an upcoming thing in the area. I didn't really realize how big the songwriting community was in Pennsylvania until I started getting introduced to these people, and it was really cool. It was kind of like the CMA awards, like in Nashville, obviously at a much smaller scale, but it was kind of run the same of like if you live in central Pennsylvania, you can kind of like go online and apply yourself, like if you release a song or something like that, and just get recognized and meet all these musicians. I met so many friends through this award ceremony, and it's been great to me ever since I started music.
I think that's amazing. So I'm from Pittsburgh, and so I've known about those awards for a while, but I don't live in central Pennsylvania, so it's like, oh, I can't be part of that one. But I've done a few other awards, like the ISSAs and the Josies and stuff. But it's like really
Yeah.
fun whenever you can attend those and like meet people and unite with friends and just be part of the celebration of like the independent music scene. I think those award shows and more popping up now, which is really cool. And so I think it's just a great way, and I think it's really illustrating to how the independent music scene is really growing and thriving because more things are coming out of it, more artists, more award shows and events and things, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it's honestly really great just, like, seeing how much support is out there, especially because I didn't realize, like, when I was younger and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I feel like there's nothing for me other than music, and when I was younger, I just, pictured a musician on the side of the street, like, asking for money in a guitar case. That's kind of like what I thought, and then when I got, like, introduced to these award shows and seeing, like, how many people, like, are doing this and supporting themselves, it was really great.
I think it's really inspiring as well, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
absolutely is, absolutely.
So you have a big performance background and you've played hundreds of shows. So can you share a little about how it feels to get out there and perform? And I'm sure when you were growing up, you were playing covers, but now that you have your original music, transitioning into playing your own music live now as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I first started performing when I was 16. I went to an open mic in my area, and they asked me to play 4 songs, and I could not play 4 songs. I didn't know how. I could barely play the guitar, and then I went to another open mic, and then I played 3 songs, and, it was just slowly getting better, and then there was somebody from a restaurant that was like, "Hey, can you come and play, like, a 2-hour set at one of my bars on a Friday?" And that was, like, the scariest thing in the entire world for me, just because I was such an introverted person. I wasn't really confident on guitar. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I feel like I went from 2-hour sets to 3-hour sets to now 4-hour sets, in Nashville, and there's no experience like playing for people, especially down in Nashville. You just get to, like, connect with people, and people can send you their favorite songs and what they like to listen to, and it's kind of cool, because we also get, like, Venmo requested, so people can leave little comments, and it's like, "Hey, this song was my first dance song. Can you play it? We're from, you know, somewhere else, a different country," Like, it's really cool just getting to connect with people through music. I don't think there's anything like that.
That's really awesome how you started being a little scared about performing live and kind of building up your skills on guitar and as a vocalist, and also expanding your skills with building up your set list and performing for a long period of time to now playing in Nashville. I think that's a really cool evolution. And I've never played in Nashville, but I've visited a couple of times and always go to Broadway, and it's just like a wild experience. Like literally every place you go, there's like floors of live music.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It was insane being, like, a child playing a bar in Pennsylvania because I played underage. Like, I, like, grew up in bars from 16 to 18. I played bars in Central Pennsylvania, and then it's, like, a huge jump to Nashville where, like you said, there's music on literally every floor. Like, you can't escape the music down here.
No, I don't, not at all. Do you have any favorite venues to play out down there?
One of my favorites, I would say is Jason Aldean's just because the stage is it's more of, like, a dinner and a show, I feel like. I feel like a lot of the venues down here are like, so in your face music, which I love. Like, that's so awesome to me. But I think one of my favorites would be like Jason Aldean, where you can just like it's more intimate and you can connect with people and get to know everybody in the room.
Yeah, I love that. And I agree. I think sometimes it can be a little overwhelming because there's so much happening. So I get that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So after, you decide to pursue music, you moved to Nashville. What was your experience like getting into the studio for the first time and recording original music?
I remember the first time I was recording music. I was still obviously living in Pennsylvania at the time, and I came down to Nashville, and I got connected with really great musicians. It's crazy. The studios down here, they're like world class musicians that have played with everybody that are now kind of like taking it slow and just doing like studio work and stuff. So it was amazing, like getting to hear their stories and also going in and um, recording some of your own songs. It was really cool hearing the band, say like, "Wow, like I really like this song. This is a really great song." So like hearing from world class musicians that like your stuff is decent or they like it a little bit, like that's amazing to me. And it was the best compliment I probably could have ever received at a young age. I love going in and I love recording music. I love connecting with people through song and I'm just excited for people to hear what I've got.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And I think the people you work with really helps a lot, especially when you're writing songs you wrote that are personal to you. When you're working with people who enjoy your music and are excited about working with you, I think that makes all the difference.
Right. I think so too. I mean, it I met a lot of the musicians down here and they're like they just do studio work, so they're playing on people's tracks that they don't even know. It doesn't have to be good. They're just there for a paycheck, you know what I mean? So they would tell me that, I played with some bad people. We didn't like their songs, but it was still great. And whenever they played on mine and they just, gave me just a little bit of confirmation that I was doing something good, it like meant the world to me. So,
Yeah, I'm sure. I think, especially like when you're just starting out, and just for me, like in my own experience growing up, and I started writing songs when I was in college, and I didn't even tell anybody I was doing it because I thought they were terrible and I didn't have confidence in myself. And so it was really terrifying when I started to show my music to friends and when I was looking for a producer, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to show them these demos I made by myself and I don't know what I'm doing and they're going to hate it and I'm going to feel embarrassed. But it's really validating when you're at that early stage and people give you that confirmation that you're on the right track, because I think it gives you that confidence and helps you to continue pushing forward and developing yourself as a songwriter.
right, absolutely. I agree.
Perfect. So now I want to hear about your new single, Blame It. So can you share the inspiration behind this and maybe a glimpse into the recording process?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually wrote Blame It, I think 3, maybe 4 years ago. It was something that I wrote and that was a completely different thing. It had a completely different meaning. Um, it was more about just like a guy that goes out to a bar and he only calls you when he's drinking. That was kind of the storyline behind it. And then I didn't really love it and I kind of sat on it for 2 years and a songwriter I went to write and I went into the room and I pitched the idea I already had and the guys ended up really loving it and I was living through a really bad relationship at the time with somebody who struggled with substance abuse and I feel like the song just kind of morphed into my life at the moment and that's why I was so excited to sit on this song for a little while longer and wait till the right time to put it out because I really wanted the right people to hear it and I wanted them to hear my side of the story. And I sent this song around for a really long time, and a lot of my friends really enjoyed it. My producer Jake Partial, he loved the song and he really wanted to be a part of it, and he really took his time with the producing to make it exactly how he thought it should be and I thought it should be. And I feel like everybody that's been a part of this song has just helped me so much and helped validate my feelings and especially on something that was a really sad part of my life has grown into a more positive part of my life now.
Yeah, well, I love so much about what you said. Clearly, this is a vulnerable song, and
Mhm.
you let yourself sit on it for the time you needed to, and I think that's important. I think sometimes we can write songs and be really excited to share them, which is great. Like, we should always be excited about that, but sometimes we just need to let the song have the time it needs and revisit it if necessary. And I think that by you sitting on this one and consistently sharing it with people and getting that validation that, hey, like, you should probably release this one or perform it, I think that's really good. And also that you mentioned that you wrote this song during a difficult point of your life, but now it's kind of spun into a positive because now it's a great song that you can share with people. I think that's one of
Mhm.
the coolest things about being a songwriter is I would say, like, the majority of my songs come from times when I'm at my deepest, darkest, saddest, because that's where the biggest inspiration comes from. I, of course, have happier songs, but it's easier to write
Right.
about the sad things because it's therapeutic. But then after you get those songs out of your system and you share it with the world, it has a positive spin to that. And I think that's one of the most special things about being a songwriter is we can take painful moments and turn them into something beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah, this song was definitely one of them. Like I said, yeah, I sat on it for a really long time and just was ready, waiting for the right moment to put it out there for him and for me. And now that, those feelings are gone, that relationship is like way over. It's kind of nice to reflect and be on the other side of it. So I'm excited for everybody to hear it.
Yeah, for sure. And when they do hear, what do you hope they take away from the listening experience?
Honestly, I would say I hope they relate to the song, but in this instance, I would just say that I hope if you do relate to this song that this can help you just get through it like I did. Um, I posted TikToks about this song and people's comments are like heartbreaking, hearing their stories of substance abuse or verbal abuse or whatever these people are going through. And it's just so great to hear that it was past tense and they got through it. And if this song even helps them a little bit just get through what they're going through, I think that I was doing something right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, congratulations on this song, and I cannot wait for it to be out in the world.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And so now we're coming down on the end of 2024, which is ridiculous. Like, how is it October already? This is
I
crazy.
know.
Do you have
Man,
anything?
I'm so not ready.
Yeah, no. Do you have anything planned for the rest of the year or looking ahead into 2025?
Yeah, I actually do have a lot of songs that I've written with my friends and I'm waiting to hear feedback from people and what people want. Previously a lot of my songs are more like country singer-songwriter and Blame It is a step in the it's a complete 180. It is completely different than anything I've ever done and I've been writing a lot of songs that are kind of the Blame It style and if it's received really well, then I think I'm going to continue down that route and just keep going for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it has been a joy having you on the show. Before we go, I would love for you to share any advice you have for songwriters listening.
Absolutely. I think the best advice that I've ever gotten was just show up, just meet people. With social media, it's so easy for, to get in DMs and stuff like that. And just, you're just a person on a screen, but go out, meet people, make connections. There's great people out in Nashville or even wherever you're from. There's a whole world of musicians and you just have to connect with the right people and stick with it. And I know that I still have to stick with it. But yeah, I would just say go out, meet people, and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's perfect. It has been a joy chatting with you today. Can you share with everybody where they can find you online and listen to your music?
Yeah, so you can follow me on all social medias at Devon Beck Official. I also do have a website that I keep up to date. It's devonbeckofficial.com that has all of my shows, where I'm playing next, some of the highlights, some of the bigger shows I have coming up, and merch and stuff like that.
Perfect. Well, it's been a delight having you on the show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's been really great getting to chat with somebody about this song and what I'm up to, and also getting to know you as well.
Yeah, for sure. And listeners, that's a wrap on this conversation with Devon Beck. And of course, until next time, stay
Stay
right
right
on
on
track.
track.